Hello, 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 my beautiful friends. Welcome to Libra 2024 forecast by me, Katerina Barrie. I would love to welcome you to the space. I'm very excited to conduct your reading. On here, somewhere on the screen, or if you're watching this on a different platform, somewhere in the description, there is a link that will take you to an offer that I have to work with me for an entire year in 2024. I will be talking a little bit more about it towards the end, but for now, I am excited to dive right in and get started. Before we start, I have to go over a couple things as I do, and just kind of tell you a little bit about my practice and some of the ethics that I follow and hold very sacred. So one of those is I do not practice nor really believe in fortune telling. I believe that we have a tremendous capacity to create the future that we desire for ourselves. Now, of course, this process is a bit more of a co-creation because there are other people involved. There's this whole world we got to consider, right? And some things are, I would say there's a little bit of a pattern, a little bit of a destiny that I also like to consider. But when it comes to becoming who you truly want to be in life and choosing a path for yourself, you do have a tremendous ability to impact how the arc of your life builds, how it develops, who you become, and how you respond to the events of your life. How do you develop from them? How you evolve from them? Thank you, Rita. My friend Rita is here. Now, you guys, so what, just to kind of finish this thought, like, what is my psychic practice? I am a psychic. I'm a professional psychic. I've been developing this practice for a decade now, nearly a decade, as I like to say. And I've been working with clients for about 5 years in professional capacity as a psychic. So what is it about if it's not about fortune telling, if it's not about me predicting your future? What are we doing here? Why is it called 2024 forecast? So I like to look at it this way. In my belief, we have this depth of wisdom that we can tap into in every present now moment. This wisdom, it can apply to the past, where you are able to change the way that you look at things that happened in your life already, and you're able to grow and evolve from them. You're able to release some of these stories so that they no longer define you. So there's this ability to change our past when you look at it this way, and there's also ability to change kind of the trajectory of our future, oftentimes without even having a psychic advisor. You can kind of see how things are developing, and it's kind of obvious where they're headed. But when we look at things on a deeper level, when we take this kind of intuitive information into consideration, when we prod and look for a layer that goes beyond what's just obvious, what's observable, right? We can find that there are some things, some seeds that are being planted, some undercurrents that are currently being built in our lives, and we can change that development. We can say, this is something that I do want to see blossom in my life, so I will continue, right, watering these seeds. Or you can eradicate them. You can say, what, this isn't the pattern that I really want to see play out. So before it does, maybe it's time that I change something, right? So the purpose here with all of my readings, with my psychic practice, is to give you the tools to make more informed decisions about your life, to provide you with support, wisdom, and information that will help you make choices that honor you regarding your past, regarding your future, and empower you to choose and live the life that you actually desire to experience on this planet. So without further ado, you guys, we're gonna get started. I want to say that I release these videos live on Facebook. So if you're catching me on the Facebook Live, say hello. I would love to connect with you. I like to connect with my viewers in the comments. If I can see them lately, we've been very fortunate. Now, if you're watching this on a different platform, somewhere around this video, you will find a link where you can find my Facebook profile, and I recommend that you follow me or even send me a friend request so that we can stay connected, so that we can stay in touch, so that you get to be part of these things when they come out live. And so Libra, I am so excited to welcome you guys to your reading. I am wearing the blues because we are an air sign. You guys are an air sign. I'm an air sign. My sun sign is Gemini. It's a little different. It's actually very different, but besides the point, okay, we are air signs, and here today we're diving into Libras. I've had a very Libra morning / afternoon so far, and what I mean by this is there have just been interesting layers of social complexities and conversations that are quite intriguing, but at the same time, there's not one way of looking at things. And I find that with my Libra friends, you guys have layers to your personality that are not seen by everyone, and it's not like this kind of two-faced energy or hiding energy or sneaky energy. No, not at all. It's just that you have this beautiful, delightful, fascinating complexity to your character, and you're also extremely graceful at showing up in this kind of in the right way, okay, in an appropriate right way in different relationships, in different social settings. You guys know the code, like, you know what you need to be, and you know what, it's a great medicine when it comes to you having relationships and you being part of your community, because oftentimes folks don't have that command. They don't have this wherewithal to read the room, to read the people, to understand, like, how should I show up right now? What is the best for everyone involved? So I really deeply admire this about you guys, and I'm very excited to see what comes through for your 2024. My friend Shalene is here. It's been so long since I've seen you, and Shalene and I have worked several years ago together, and I've recently been remembering, Shalene, that, like, you really were like one of the most perfect relationships with clients I have ever had as a psychic. Like, it was just so perfect. And I'm so happy to see you here. So thank you for being here. I love you so much. I miss you. I remember our time fondly, and it comes up a lot because you just are perfection. So anyway, you guys, side note over. We're diving into the cards. I'm starting with tarot. Tarot is a language. It's not, I hate when people, I really do. I passionately despise when people say, oh, tarot, that means you're like a fortune teller. Like, it is a language. It is a tool. It's something that, I see it as, every card is like a sentence. It's a story. Okay. And when you have several cards, and you're working with tarot, they form this beautiful storyline. They form, a passage that can help you understand and interpret so many different things. It's so informative. It is very mystical, and there's not one way of looking at the cards. So that's why I love tarot. I love working with tarot. It is my leading modality. And we're starting with some tarot cards for you guys. Let me make sure that the cards are nicely mixed up here. And so very also excited to dive into the oracle card deck that I selected for you guys. I'll share that a little bit later in the reading. So what I'm feeling right now is I'm feeling 5 cards here. Okay, let's see what they are. So Libra, I have the Chariot. It is reversed. Okay, I have we're going to go over each of them, so don't worry about that. I just want to get them out. So we have the King of Swords. This is the air energy, by the way. This is the air card. It is more masculine, but nonetheless, this is we are as air signs at home with the swords. Okay, let's see the third card. We have the Six of Wands that is reversed. My friend Tori's here. Hi, Tori. It's good to see you. Let's see two more cards. Tarot. So we have the Lovers. So far we had the Chariot, which is a major arcana, and now the Lovers. There is a lot of reversed cards, so don't worry about it. Okay. I've had a few signs so far in my forecasts where most of the cards or all the cards were reversed. So it's just talking about unraveling some things as you're going into 2024. It's talking about completion. It's talking about setting yourself free and adjusting. So we're going to get into all these meanings. And then the final one, another major arcana, it is a reversed Magician. We have reversed Lovers. And we have reversed Chariot. So actually I'm going to set these cards, kind of pull them out, and we're going to go over those first. And then we're going to touch on the remaining two. Okay, so we have, and you know what, you guys, tarot have, first of all, there are different decks of tarot cards. This is a classical, traditional Rider-Waite deck, okay? And these cards, they have, the colors are very meaningful. And so you can see on each of these cards, we have a bright yellow background. These cards, they do talk about actualization. They do talk about stepping into the energy that is less just kind of being part of it and more expressing it. So what is it about these cards? What is it? What are you expressing? Why are they reversed? We're going to start with the Chariot. Okay. So when the Chariot is reversed, it just feels like the movement is either very slow or it's like non-existent. Perhaps you may feel like you should be making progress. Like there's a particular phrase that's coming through, like the wheels have been oiled. They should be like moving smoothly. There should be forward motion. There should be some kind of a progression to what is it about, right? Well, whatever it is that's very important for you now. I'm talking about now whenever you're watching this. Like there is this feeling of I should be making headway. I've done the work. It's like getting into the car. I bought gas. I got the keys. I have it all. Like I'm ready to go. I have my little go drink with me. I'm ready. I'm packed. I have a destination. Why is the car not moving? Why is the car not moving? And why is there no motion? I'm feeling for some of you, this can be relationships. For some of you, this is career related. For some of you, it's an actual move. Like you are, perhaps you've been wanting to like move somewhere or to start a new chapter or move in with someone even. Now, what it is specifically about, that doesn't really matter. It matters to you, obviously, but you already know what it is. So we're not going to get more specific with what it is that this card is about. We're going to get into why are you not moving, okay? Because that's the question, okay? So Libra, what I'm feeling here is this just isn't the right direction. The reason that you're not moving is how do you say, you get out of that car that you just bought gas for, you got your, like I was using this analogy, you're ready to drive, you got the keys, you got the gas, you're ready, you got your little bag, you got your little coffee, you have somewhere to be, somewhere to go, but you get it, you're like, why is the car not moving? You get out and there's like a boot, right? There is like something that the car cannot be moved. Okay, it hasn't, what I want you to hear, it hasn't been placed there by you. You're not the reason there is no motion. You've done everything. You are right when it comes to this. Like you are correct. You've done the work. You've prepared the whole thing. You got it all together. Look at the complexity of this card. Okay, there's a lot going on. There are these two sphinxes. There's this whole chariot that looks more like a castle wall. There's this, there's this kind of Caduceus analogy, which, don't mind me, just alchemical references. If you know, you know. Okay. We have this character, there's the garments that they're wearing, the shield, the cloud of stars, the sky, whatever it is. There's there's a background. Yeah, there's a lot going on. You've put it all together. You got it. Like getting into a car, there's a lot. You got the car first, you got the gas, there is layers and layers to work that you've done in order to move in this direction. But the fact that you're not moving is not because you did something wrong, and it's not because you're not ready. It really is not about you. It is actually for you. The reason you're not moving is that just isn't the right direction. And what do you do? Okay. That's the frustrating part. Like, what do I do? Are you telling me it's not my fault, but it's not the right direction? So what are you telling me, Katerina? Did I put it all together in going in the wrong direction? How is it not my fault if it's the wrong direction, right? But, have some cards falling. Okay. But you guys, really, it's not your fault. And you know what? Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Where are these phrases coming from? I don't use this. I don't use this when I talk for real. This is the second time during this reading already where it's what is this phrase, right? I know what it is, but it's why? Where is this coming from? So don't throw away the car, okay? Don't discard everything that you've built, because the direction, believe it or not, is going to manifest itself. You're gonna see. What's again frustrating is that all you can do is have some patience. What I'm being shown is there is a mistake you could make with this. Okay, the mistake would be just saying, well, you know what? If it's not the right direction, then screw the whole thing, and just kind of putting a big X on everything you've done to get where you are with this chariot. Is saying, you know what, if there's a boot on my car, screw the car, and just walking away. That would be that analogy, right? Yeah, that would be a mistake, because it's a perfectly good car, okay? The gas is good, everything you did is good, you got the car, it's yours, you built this thing, it's yours, you've done the steps, you've done the learning, you have prepared yourself, okay? So don't discard that. That would be a mistake. But what is there to do other than just not to throw away this whole thing? Is to be patient. And what I'm getting is how will you know? How will you know when the right direction appears? Okay. Well, I think in 2024, what's going to happen at some point, okay? I'm not sure exactly when, and it's not really mine to know, to be honest with you, because it's going to be individual for each of you, depending on what this is even talking about, what area of your life is even concerning this message. What's going to happen is you got this car, okay? You got this whole thing that you've put together. Now, when the right direction manifests, it's almost like all of a sudden you just realize it's kind of rolling. It's kind of like that downhill motion. All of a sudden you realize there is no more boot on your car. All of a sudden you realize there is no more this trying to make things move a little. It's you're not even trying, and this whole thing that you've prepared yourself for, it's just kind of moving on its own. All of a sudden, it's almost like you're being magnetized in the right direction. You're not even pressing the gas. You're not even pressing down that gas pedal. It's almost like pulling you on this rope, and all of a sudden wait, my car is moving. Wait, there's no more boot on it. Wait, where am I going? Oh wait, this feels great. Where am I going? Right? And then it's this motion is happening on its own, but you're in the driver's seat still. And so as this character, you will be okay, you know what? That does feel right. Let me put some gas on it, right? And so you're already being pulled in this right direction, all on its own, as you feel this, like, wow, I'm really being, like, this is really kind of starting to go somewhere. And then you just add gas. You're like, okay, I'm down. This is right. Okay, this feels right. And then this whole thing that you've been putting together, this whole area of your life you've been cleaning up, doing work and building yourself up, doing all the stuff, all of a sudden it's all working. It's all like, it all has a place. It's all working together. And now you're like, yes. And you're adding that gas and it's happening even quicker. And it's, you may even have a thought like, why didn't that happen earlier? But then you're going to realize that just wasn't even available, And then you're going to also realize like, oh, I'm so glad that the other thing didn't happen because this is the right thing, right? But you can only know that in hindsight. So what's the message here? Libra, the message is have patience and don't make the mistake of throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Don't throw away the car if your car temporarily has a boot on it. Don't throw away the car, right? Because that car, it's a perfect car. And it drives just exactly right. It's all great, okay? So when the boot's gonna come off, and when you're going to start getting that pull in the right direction and you add gas to it, that car is going to fly down the highway and you're going to be driving it and you're going to be like, yes, that's what this car is for. This is the kind of drive I was hoping for all along. Of course, metaphor, but I like to speak in metaphors because they help us relay certain messages that may be a little bit more of a philosophical nature. They allow us to, the metaphors allow us to very much kind of understand the wisdom personally and integrate it more quickly. So I like analogies. I hope you do as well. We're moving on to the next one. So we had the Magician reversed. Why is the Magician reversed? Okay. You know what? Here's another thing. This is funny too, and it ties into the previous message, is you have everything you need, but you're haunted by this feeling like you're missing something. And again, it's not your fault. You really aren't missing anything, but it feels like it because it's like, why is this thing not moving? Same question is like, well, I think I have everything I need. Why does it feel like I'm missing something? Again, I don't think this is anything to do with your timing. I think the reason it feels like something's missing is what's missing is the right timing. And I just don't think that you can make that happen, Libra. And I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't think anyone can. Like the real magic happens in the right timing. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you meet a friend, and it's just the right day. You maybe run into a friend of yours, but it's like, maybe the friend is a little upset and you run into them on the street and then they're like, oh God, like, it's so good to see you. You don't even know how much I needed you today. And it's like, you didn't plan for it, right? You didn't arrange it. You didn't call each other and make plans to meet. It's more of a, like, I can't believe I'm seeing you now. Like, I needed you most. I didn't even know it, but here you are. Like, that's the right timing magic. That's just one example. It's like when, you could be looking for love everywhere, for example, and then there's a perfect moment that you wake up and for some reason you have that feeling like something magical is going to happen. You didn't come up with that feeling, it's just there. And then you're like, yeah, who knows? I mean, I don't know. Maybe something magical will happen. And you go to that, just the right light is hitting through just the right window and there's just perfect flowers and you're getting that, just the right kind of coffee that you love so much. And then just the right person. And you're like, whoa, this cannot be happening. And they say, miss, I'll get that for you. Can I have your number? And you're like, what? Wait, what? This is like the most perfect, right? But it's not until that day. It's not until that moment. It's not until you cannot come up with this feeling something magical is going to happen. And that's a good practice. Don't get me wrong. I love positive thinking. It is actually great practice because our mind tends to gravitate towards the negative. That's just human nature. But you can't manufacture any of this. You can't say, okay, you know what? I'm done waiting for love. I'm going to meet the person I'm going to be in love with today. Okay? And I believe something magical is going to happen specifically today. You're probably going to have a very disappointing day because that's just not how it works. Okay? You cannot fake divine timing. You cannot orchestrate it. Even though, you guys, I will be super honest with you, I tried, I get it. I want to be able to orchestrate divine timing just like you do. Like, wouldn't that be nice? But what you feel you're missing, the magic, right? Katerina, you're telling me, hold on. All the cards fell down. Okay. Katerina, you're telling me, I'm the magician, and I got all the, look at him. He got everything. He got the little wand there. He got the infinity thing, lemniscate. He got the chalice. Don't mind my nails. He got the sword, the wand, the little pentacle, the flowers, everything. He got everything going. Okay. But the cards are reversed. So it's like, but where's the magic? Like, I got the wand, I got the thing, I got I got everything set up. Where is the magic? Why am I magicking and it's not working? It's because once again, the divine timing just isn't here. And one of the things that I'm going to tell you, Libra, that I understand this might be frustrating to be getting these messages. We're talking about going into 2024, and I'm not being specific as to when the right timing is going to come. I'm just telling you it's coming, and it's not here yet. So, what to do with this is this is going to be hard to hear. You cannot give up on the magic, though. Isn't that just a BITCH? Isn't that just, you cannot give up on the magic. You cannot stop believing. You have to hold the vision. You have to keep asking for that fairy tale. You have to hold that so strongly. You cannot walk away from the previous analogy. You cannot walk away from that car and just throw it away because it has a boot. You should not stop believing in magic just because the magic isn't happening right now. And this is hard to do, you guys. This is why I said I don't really like delivering this message, because it's like, be patient, believe in magic. It's somewhere out there. I don't know exactly when it's coming. It's just like, well, okay, why are we here? What are we doing, right? What is the point of this? But the point is very important. You have to still value everything you've done to get where you are, to get as ready as you are, because God knows, universe knows, every single layer of consciousness knows, Libra, how ready you are. It is known in the ethers. It is, you rest assured, it is known how ready you are and how much you have done to get that ready. How much work on yourself you have done, how much you have done to set the foundation, to do the groundwork, to, everything, to build this, everything, to build everything up so it's ready for the momentum. And to get prepared within yourself, to have that, to experience that magic, the amounts of mindset work that you have done to even believe that this is possible for you, the amount of things that you have released, that tells you you're not good enough or whatever, that people told you, all sorts of crap, how much effort it took for you to get rid of that conditioning, to get rid of things that don't serve you, to clear the path. And here you are, You know, sitting in this carriage that's not moving, standing at this table with the magic wand, the magic's not coming through. Like, these are all metaphors, but it's a very frustrating place to be. And I know it's rich for me to come here and tell you, like, magic is coming, you know, trust, have patience. But you guys, like, the amount of hard work you have literally done on yourself and on your environment in order to be this ready, in order to, like, believe even, it's incomparable. It is truly amazing. And it would be so heartbreaking. It would be so sad. It would be so unfair if this is where you give up. Okay? Because you are so close, you're practically there. But it's just not the right time yet. You are, like, there with everything you've done, everything you believe, everything, in every way that you have become ready. You're practically there. And there is going to feel so beautiful and effortless and natural. It's going to be better than anything you have ever imagined. But you can't give up. You cannot just walk away. You can, but like I said, it would be so tragic. It would be so unfair. It would be so heartbreaking if this is where you give up, because you are practically there. You are so ready. You are so prepared. You've done everything for that. Do not let yourself let this go, you guys. And then I have the final of the 3 cards that were major arcana that was reversed. Okay, we have the Lovers reversed. You know, I think for a lot of you, and this may not be for everyone, but for a lot of you, you are, it is about love. Okay, it is about love for a lot of you. This is like, this is what I'm talking about. That direction, that magic that you're waiting for, it is love. But for some of you, it's meeting yourself, like meeting yourself as this version of who you really want to be. You know, a good analogy here would be, you know, like I said, doing all the mind work and mindset work and getting ready. You know, it could have been like you know, preparing for this career change, or you really seeing yourself, you know, go on a level that maybe no one else in your family has gone to, like doing things that no one else has done that, you know, in your closest circles. You know, you've been really like getting yourself there and putting things in place and working on yourself. And it's like, it may seem like there are examples of kind of people getting there almost like how did they just do that overnight? How did how did it happen for them? Why not for me? Like, have they even done all the things I've done in order to prepare myself for this? And like, why isn't it happening? It can be very frustrating, but this meeting on yourself when you're on that level, could it be worth that patience, even though it feels like the thing should have already happened a long time ago? Like, can that be worth it though? I want to, this is what I want you to do going into 2024. If this is resonating, if you are taking this reading seriously, you always have a choice as to whether to take this information or not. If it doesn't resonate, just leave it, obviously. But if it does, you still have that choice, okay? Libra, what I want you to do is I want you to as difficult as it may be, I want you to find a little quiet moment and sit down with your journal or your notes app or your laptop, whatever it is for you, okay? Sit down with your thoughts. And as impatient as you've been growing, as disheartening as this waiting game may have become for you at this point already, I want you to sit down and go all the way back to why. Like, why? Why have you built this entire carriage? Why did you build this whole thing that's supposed to take you there? Why did you set this whole table up, getting ready to bring the magic in? Why have you created and carved this whole direction out for yourself. Why? Not the why, like, well, I want to be in love, or, well, I want to experience, finding my person, or, well, I want to meet myself on this level of success. Like, no, not something you would tell another person if they asked you. But like, why for you? Why for you? Like, why is this the most important thing? And I'm not telling you to question it. No, we're beyond questioning. You know. What you know. I want you to feel this pain. You guys, I know, it sounds terrible, okay? I can't even believe what I'm saying. But I want you to feel that pain, that longing. It's very hard to hold this. But you guys, that's the strongest magnet that exists in the universe. That is the strongest gravitational pull, is not wanting and not having and being frustrated, but just how much you desire it. If you can get even past the pain of, I want it so bad, but you're making me feel this desire, but I don't have the thing, Katerina. I don't want to feel this desire. It is beyond frustrating. I want you to get past the frustrating and past the pain of not having it. And I want you to get to this like pure, exalted, absolute, all-consuming desire for whatever it is that this whole thing is for. Whether it's love, whether it's yourself there, wherever that is, whether it's you as that, whatever that is, right? Whatever it is for you, okay? I want you to feel the purest, most potent desire that has been driving you all along. But I want you to get to it and single it out and just let it consume you. And let that be your meditation for however long you can handle it. Because you guys, the pain of not having the thing that you so much want is one thing. But once you get past it, once you get to that purity, that quintessence of desire, that is a call that there is not a louder call in the universe that calls the thing in. So as you get started with your 2024, get to that place. Uncover the purest desire for the thing that you want. I'm not asking you to question it. I'm not asking you to make yourself not want it. It would be impossible. I'm not asking you to explain why you want it to anyone else. It's just like, I'm not even asking you to sit with the pain of like, I want it, but I don't have it. I want it, but I don't have it. I want you to get to that purest desire. And I want you to hold it. Let it consume you. I want you to feel it. Because first of all, it's going to accomplish two things, okay? It's going to remind you. It's going to remind you why. It's going to be a very strong reason not to walk away from what you built because you're tired of waiting. And not to walk away from believing the thing is even possible because you're tired of waiting. It's going to anchor in like why you're really doing this for you. But the second thing it's going to accomplish is it will bring you closer. The divine timing still has to happen when the divine timing happens, okay? But if anything is in the way of that divine timing, the pure calling of that heart desire is stronger. And so it will clear the path as much as it's possible for you. But you guys, I want to highlight again, you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't prepare incorrectly. You're not lacking magic. It just, there is nothing of what this waiting that's happening, none of it is on you. But you know what? When the divine timing comes, you're going to be happy that the cards didn't move and the magic didn't flow through because it just wasn't the right thing. It is going to make sense, but that's only available in hindsight. I hate to say it, but it's true. You don't feel like, oh, I'm glad none of this all worked out because this thing is perfect. You don't feel that until you're there. So it's kind of hard to like imagine how that will be because you can't. But I promise you, okay, you're going to have that feeling and it's going to make sense. And it's not really all in your hands. The divine timing part, it involves the other person. It involves other factors, okay? It involves the world. It involves, you know, layers that we cannot even bring up because we can't even consider them at this time. So let's look at the other two cards. Just don't give up. Yes, have patience. Yes, it sucks. Get to the root of that desire. Let it consume you. Hold it. Be with it. Okay? Not with a feeling of like, but why is it not here yet? But just like, how bad do I want this? How much desire can I hold? Okay? And that's going to be the most powerful thing you can do. Do not lose faith. Do not stop believing. And don't throw away everything you've built, because that would be, like I said, that would be a tragedy. That would be so unfair. That would be so sad, because you are so close. You're practically there. All you need is divine timing, and it has to come when it comes. Okay. It's the biggest message of this whole reading, pretty much. Okay. We have a couple more cards. We have the King of Swords. Okay. Like I said, it is upright. It is our element. It is the air element. What this card is about is, you know, maybe I am kind of overplaying the way that I'm describing this, because you guys are freaking strong. Like, you guys are, I would even say stoic. Like, you can do it. When the other people tap out, you're there. Like, you don't have a problem with that. You don't have a lack of patience by any means. You don't have problems with temper. You don't have this like, oh, I can't handle it anymore. You know, you're really resilient. And you're able to, like I said in the beginning of the reading, you're able to read the room, you're able to read others. And when other people are freaking out, you're actually like calming everyone down. Not only do you not let yourself freak out, but you're also like taking care of everyone else. You're helping others, you know, not lose their cool. And I want to tell you, Libra, okay, you can do this. The only reason that you're really tempted to say, screw it, F it, I don't believe anymore, I'm walking away, this is ridiculous. If it would have happened for me, it would have already happened for me. The only reason you're kind of tempted to do that is because it's so personal. Because it's almost like it feels like a vendetta from the universe. It's like, so I'm one of the most patient people I know, and because of that, my patience is going to be tested to such an extreme. Like, it almost feels personal, you know? It's like, yeah, I am patient. Yeah, I am resilient. Yeah, I am strong. But why am I being made to wait for so freaking long? And I've done this and done that. Like, why? Is this a punishment? It's not. It's not. And none of it is your fault, or it's not that you did something wrong. Again, it is just a matter of divine timing. But Libra, I just want you to remember, like, otherwise, you know, you wouldn't do this in any other setting. You wouldn't even consider giving up. You wouldn't even consider, you know, just being like, screw it. Because, like, you're one of the toughest players in the game. So I just want you to remember that, you know? Like, I just want you to remember that when maybe it feels like, yeah, should I just stop believing the thing, right? Because you wouldn't do that in any other setting. So don't let yourself down. You deserve more. You deserve some freaking patience. And so what if you're tired of waiting? And so what if it feels like, well, I've done everything I possibly could, because you did, right? So what if it's going to take a little bit more to get to that divine timing? So what? Don't you owe that to yourself? If you're able to be patient and strong for everyone else in your life, don't you owe that to yourself? Don't you think that even though it's maybe the most challenging and your patience is very thin and you almost don't want to believe the thing anymore, don't you think that's where you need to lean in? Because it's you and your dreams. Don't you think you are the most important person to be strong for in your own life? Something to consider. This is masculine energy, okay? And it's the kind of masculine energy that you take on as an air sign when you say, okay, I'm not going to mess around anymore. Like, you know how it's like, yeah, you may, you know, maybe it's, you know, one of your friends and there's been some kind of comments and you've been kind of, and you know, they've been kind of snide and a little bit this and a little bit that. And then they said something about your outfit and then they said something about this and then they made a remark about that. And, you know, there gets to be a point where this energy comes through for you and you know, and it may be in just one moment that you confront that person and go like, okay, I don't want to assume things, but there is a problem and we need to talk about it. Like, there gets to be a point where you're like, it's nice, whatever, it's fun and games, whatever, they don't mean it, you know, whatever. And then there comes a moment, it's like a switch where you're like, all right, and that's how you show up. Okay, we need to talk. Like, there is no more games. There is no more two ways to look at things. There's no more like, oh, maybe they mean it, maybe they don't. It's like, let's figure this out. Like, you get like this, Libra, okay? You get like this where it's like, no more games, okay? I'm not messing around anymore. Let's figure this out. That's how you need to approach this waiting for the right timing, okay? You need to re-solidify your commitment to your dream. In the process of feeling like I'm tired of waiting, is it ever gonna happen? Am I just silly? Should I stop believing in it? You need to get like this with yourself and you need to show up and say, okay, I'm not messing around anymore. Like, I've done all this work. I've set this groundwork for my dream. I've worked on myself for my dream. I've done it all. And here's the real thing that I'm gonna decide now is I'm not backing down. This is what you really need to do. Is I'm not gonna stop believing because I'm here. Like, I'm practically there. All I need is that little whiff of divine timing whenever it comes, and I'm going to wait for it. And I'm going to be here when it comes. And it's gonna just scoop me up and take me right to my dream. And until that happens, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not throwing anything away. I'm not backing down on my dream. I'm not gonna stop believing it all of a sudden. And I'm just gonna wait. Okay? I am going to wait and it's going to happen. And when it does, it's going to be great. But until it does, I will not take even a step back. Because this is mine. Okay? Now, this is quite powerful. And like I said, you get like this in situations, relationships, environments where, you know, it's fine and it's all fun and games until it isn't. Okay? Well, is it still fun and games when it comes to your dream? With all the work you've done, with all the believing, with all the ground, you know, setting the foundation that you've done. Is it still fun and games? Are you still even entertaining the possibility that it's not for you? Because if you are, it needs to be, okay, no more fun and games. Okay, this is serious. I am not entertaining even the possibility that it's not going to happen for me. This is not like well, if it happens, I'll believe it. Like, I'm not entertaining even the possibility that it won't happen. Because it's happening. Like, this is where you need to get with your mindset, all right? And it's pretty, like, there is no two ways of saying it. There is no two ways of being about it. Because if there is two ways, then it's still all fun and games. Maybe it will happen, maybe it will not. Today I believe in it, tomorrow not so sure. Yes, I'm working on myself, but what is it all really for? Like, this cannot be a seesaw. This cannot be a discussion, okay? It has to be like, no, I'm like, my final decision is that it's happening. So I'm not even entertaining the possibility that it may not. And this is where you need to get, and you know what? That waiting for the right divine timing, it's not even going to feel like waiting anymore. It's just like, I'm just excited to find out when. What do you mean, when? When the thing's going to happen. What do you mean, like, when is it going to happen? Don't you, someone may ask, don't you think it may not happen? Or maybe it will happen, maybe, no. There is absolutely zero chance that it's not going to happen, okay? Because it's happening. I'm just excited to find out when. That's what it becomes. And this is going to be powerful for you, because it's not going to feel like you're second guessing or you're still sure. One day you're sure, the other day you're not sure. When you take that stand, it's no longer even like, oh, but when is it going to happen? Secretly thinking, will it though? Like, when it does, I'll believe it. But what if it doesn't? Like, there is no more of that. It's just like, I'm just waiting to find out when. Not if. When. So I'm just excited to see when it happens. The waiting becomes excitement. I'm excited to see when it happens, because there is no more chance that it may not. And only you have that power. Libra, only you have that power in your whole life. And you know what? In fact, I believe we all have that power, but there's a lot of people who don't even have a strong motivator to exercise with, to be honest with you. There's a lot of people that kind of want things in life. Kind of want that. Wouldn't that be nice? It would be nice to be a published author. It would be nice to learn to play guitar. Yeah, it would be nice to live somewhere else. And then it's like, well, what are you going to do about it? Nothing. It just would be nice, If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's how a lot of people are. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you have a dream, and it's specific. Like, you know what you want. You know what you want, okay? So that's what this power is for. It's not for, well, it may happen, may not, I don't know. I care, but I don't care, Living here is kind of nice. Living in Alaska could be kind of nice. And living in Hawaii would be also kind of nice. Like, that's not you. Yeah, you know what you want. So use the power. The power being, you make a decision. It's no more fun and games. It's no more back and forth. It's like, this is happening. I've done it. I'm here. I'm ready. I did everything I could. It's whatever I'm waiting for. The reason I'm waiting, that's not even me. It's the universe. So I'm just excited to see when it happens, because there is no chance that it's not. This is the power I'm talking about. I know I've restated it several different ways. Sometimes these types of messages, even when they make perfect sense, they have a sneaky way of going past our conscious mind and right in the back of our mind. And then it's like, oh, it felt like there was something interesting said, but I can't remember what it was, right? So I repeat things oftentimes in slightly different ways to make sure that it reaches your conscious mind, meaning it doesn't get past it, okay? So you actually consciously make a connection with the message that I'm saying, because otherwise, what are we doing here, okay? This is important. This is important for me. This work is super important for me. This is important for you, okay? So I want you to remember this. I want you to remember that you have that power. Most people have that power. Most people would not even need to use it, because they don't really know what they want. What you do. And you have to take a stand where you do not give your mind any more power to question or doubt your direction, or that it's happening for you, that your dream is happening for you. You have to make a stand, take a stand, and you cannot take a step back. You have to decide with unshakable knowing, with pure, complete, absolute faith that your dream is happening, and that everything you've done in preparation for it, it's gonna serve you really well. And that it's not about when/if it will happen. It's about just finding out when it's gonna happen, because it's 100% happening, and you're just excited to see when. You're excited to see how it's gonna play out, but you know exactly what it is. And in that decision, you are claiming this for yourself beyond any chance whatsoever. Okay, Libra, we had one more card here. I feel like it's maybe less significant, but we will take a look. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. It is just restating what we've talked about. It's the victory card that was reversed. So you may be feeling a little defeated. Okay, we've already talked about this. It's just bruised ego. You know, maybe you're feeling a little defeated because you're seeing people get things faster. Let me put it this way. Get things faster. And you know what? Maybe you've even, here's the thing. I know that's not going to be pleasant to hear, but you know, it might also confirm something for you. So I'm going to say it. You may have seen someone else get what you really want, and they don't really even care about it all that much. It's just like, yeah, I mean, I got it. It wasn't really a dream of mine, but nice to have. And it could have felt like, oh, now that's just an insult from the universe. Like, what do you mean they didn't even care about it? But it's nice to have. Nice to have? Like, that's my dream. Like, you probably didn't tell it to the person. You may not have even known the person, but you just kind of saw that happen. It's like, so people who don't really care get it, and me over here, where it's like the thing I want so much, right? And like, what? Like, what? That's the defeat. But that's just your ego being a little bruised. Because you know what? It's not about you. That person getting the thing that you really want, it's really not about you. And you know, it's oh God, I really don't like hearing it. When I hear it on the end of receiving it, I can't believe I'm the one handing this message right now. A little bit of full circle moment here. But you know, I hate to say it, but when you see things that you really want start showing up for other people, you know, it's a sign that you're getting closer to it. I hate saying it. But you guys, it's true. It's true. It's really, really true. I've had that happen. One of the most notable times that I will never forget, which is why it's a story I like to share. But, you know, I had that happen with a Cadillac. You know, I used to drive a Cadillac. It was a lease. I couldn't afford it. I was in a bad place with my career. I lost my job. I crashed that Cadillac. It was a bad accident right before I lost my job. There a sequence of bad events. But I really, it was hard to believe because money was tough and everything was kind of in shambles, and I was not in a good place financially or even like life-wise, really. I had no direction. I wasn't sure. I was finding myself. I found tarot in that time, and it was really good, but it was my very early 20s, lost my job, had some bad things happen. And I knew I couldn't get into a Cadillac. You know, the one I had was a lease. It wasn't even mine, and I couldn't afford the lease anymore. And I don't think they would lease another car to me knowing that I just totaled a brand new Cadillac, right? So, yeah, and I told myself I'm going to get back into a Cadillac one day. And when I said that to myself, I was like, I don't sound so sure. Probably because I don't have enough evidence supporting that. But I was like, no, but they put it on my vision board, put it everywhere. I was thinking about it. I wasn't making money, but I was thinking about making money, of course. But I didn't know what I was doing. And I just kept putting Cadillac everywhere. And it was red Cadillac. And then, you know, I started my psychic business, and, you know, there was this whole pandemic. Long story short, things started kind of taking off, and I bought a new car. It wasn't new, it was used, but it was a Cadillac. It wasn't red. But right before I got it, I started seeing Cadillacs everywhere. And I kept thinking to myself, like, must be nice. Everyone's driving a Cadillac other than me. Like, do these people even care? Like, Like, how come everyone on the highway has one? You know, when did they become so affordable? Like, what does that even mean? Like, why do I see them everywhere? And right as I decided to go look at options and see if I can, you know, buy a car, trade in my old one, and see what's out there, and found that, in fact, there was an affordable Cadillac. It just wasn't new. It's been, you know, it's had several owners, and it was red, but it was like, I could do it. It was okay. I could do it, and I could pay it off. Well, right before that happened, right before it all came together, okay, there were Cadillacs everywhere. And then that car, our path ended as well. But, you know, right as I found the car that I drive now, which is finally a red Cadillac, I was seeing red Cadillacs everywhere. And it's like, well, now I drive one, but why am I seeing red ones? That's what was on my vision board. So you seeing other people get your dream right in front of you, and they don't even seem to really care. It's not about you. It's not an insult from the universe. It's not a, you know, slap in the face from the divine. It isn't. It's really not about you. What you're seeing is evidence that it happens. It's really hard to take it that way. I get it. Like I said, I don't really like delivering this message because I don't really like hearing it when it's my turn to hear it. And when I brought up somewhere that how come everyone drives a Cadillac, and I was in this little junky little car, which nothing wrong with it. It did drive, but I really hated it. I'm 6'2", you guys. You know, it was a very small car. It was painful for me to drive it. I have very long legs. I did not fit into it, like physically well. It was not good. And it was just the vibe of it, I really didn't like that car at all. But you know, I was grateful that I had some wheels, right, to get around. And yet seeing everyone driving a Cadillac everywhere around me all the time, all of a sudden, you know, and I brought it up, like, how come? And you know, someone that, you know, I was close with, who is into manifestation and law of attraction, all these things, was like, it's just evidence. Oh, relax. It's just evidence. Your Cadillac is getting closer to you every day. And I was like, right. Okay. Nice. Okay. All right. Well, that's one way of seeing it. You know, it's hard, but you know, if you want to feel defeated, that's how you can feel, you know. But if you want to see, okay, but what if it's not an insult from the universe? What if it's a sign, right? If you let yourself go in that direction, what is available is for you to consider that the fact that you're witnessing it appear in other people's lives is that it's getting closer to you. Okay. And that's the last message in that pile. Now we're going to pull, we are getting closer to the conclusion here. We are going to pull a couple cards from the Oracle as well. And the Oracle I chose for you guys is the Animal Spirit, okay? Animal Spirit deck. I don't know why I felt it, but I felt it. And so that's what we're rolling with. We have the Animal Spirit. It does look really nice with my ring. I have my little moonstone and lapis lazuli. Is it? I think it is lapis lazuli. Ring here, and then kind of with the shimmer, you know, it's all a vibe. Okay, so blues are for my air signs, my blue crystals, and yeah, I'm enjoying the aesthetic at this present moment. A little distraction for me for a second. A pleasant one. Okay, let's see. Let's back into the reading. What is coming through for Libra in 2024? Some oracle messages, please. Some spirit animals. Let's see them. Okay, for Libra. So I'm going to do 3 cards here. We have the camel. I will read from the guidebook for this deck because that's kind of how I think it was intended to be used, but I'll share a little snippet of my own understanding of these spirit animals as well. So we have the fish, okay? And then finally we have the crow. Okay, so let's dive right in. I'm gonna start with the camel, okay? Camels are, they're not just survivors. They're a mystery, because they thrive in the desert, and then they, a very hard to survive place for maybe other species. But they're big animals, okay? They're strong. They're able to withstand pretty drastic conditions, and they're able to to grow to be their size. They're not only surviving the desert, they're not there on their last breath. They're thriving. That's where they thrive. They thrive in climate that to other species is very much deadly. So what that tells me is that it's a animal that adjusts really well to settings that to other people are incomprehensible. And I would say this is the same for you, Libra, is you're able to really navigate some environments, situations, relationships where most people would throw in the towel, say, oh, I'm out of here. I cannot do this. You're like, yeah, it's not the easiest, but we do fine. I'm all right. And I'm like, what do you mean you're all right? This is crazy. How can you deal with this? And you're like, just a typical Tuesday for me. You really are very strong. Let's see the camel. I'm trying to find it in this guidebook over here. Let's see the camel, resourceful, independent, knows oneself. The camel can handle absolutely anything. What did I just say? As it carries a wealth of nourishment within. This wondrous creature is self-reliant and handles challenges with ease. Even in the face of excess heat, judgment, or anger, metaphors, the camel searches inside for the cool elixir of water to calm the situation. That is you, Libra. That is my Libra friends. The camel represents the ultimate form of bringing opposites into balance, fire and water, and being responsible for one's own reactions. The camel is a wonderful traveler and especially fond of trips to faraway lands. When in balance, calm, content, sparkle in the eye. When out of balance, dehydrated, lacks vitality. To bring into balance, a pilgrimage. Okay, so I'm feeling, my friend Sharon is here. Girl, you're gonna have to see the replay. We just went on a journey and a half with these cards. They were all connected. I'm not gonna repeat myself, but do I have stuff for you, okay? So I suggest catching the replay when we finish here. But on the subject of oracles, the camel, okay? I think you need to plan some travel, Libra. I think that will put that sparkle in your eye, and it will also really kind of, help you maybe even not think so much about when your divine timing is coming. Just to get an adventure, go on an adventure, explore, get distracted from what you're used to. And, however that looks financially, don't make that such a big consideration. I would say, whatever your finances are at this time, just don't look at that. Do not look at your budget, because you're not going right now, but instead go to wherever you want to go, wherever you want to travel, go on the website, look up that hotel, that destination, whatever it is, find it, mark it, bookmark it, save it, print it out, and just, stick it in your day planner and say, write on it, going in 2024, very excited, looking forward to this trip. That's it. And just get excited because you're going. And also, really, it doesn't matter how much it costs or what you think will happen if you really were to do this. Because you know what, you guys, I'm gonna, maybe this wouldn't fly for another sign, but I feel like I can be really very straightforward with my Libra friends, because you guys get it and you appreciate it, because you have to kind of scan through a lot of stuff that other people, they can't say, because it's not correct, politically correct, they say this way, but they really mean it that way. And, it gets exhausting trying to read through all these layers of what people are actually trying to say versus what they're saying. So I'm going to spare you the trouble. I'm just going to cut right in and I'm going to say, it doesn't matter what you think you can afford or what you don't think you can afford, even if you have a bunch of other people depending on you, because guess what? Things work out in life. Somehow, some way, they can be very difficult, but it works out. Because you know what happens when you have an unexpected expense? Let's say a tree falls down somewhere, or something gets cut off, or there's a lightning bolt, or some crazy thing happens. Guess what? You figure it out. You may not have the resources that you thought you had yesterday because a tree fell down. And there's nothing to do about it. You can't make it unfall, right? So when stuff happens, unforeseen circumstances, and things just crash, right? You figure it out. But you didn't plan for this expense, but you somehow managed to figure it out. So why don't you just make your travel plan? And if your mind chips in with I don't think I can really afford it, I don't think it's really in the budget, just tell yourself, you know what, it really isn't, but I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to write it off as a tree falling down somewhere expense, and I'm just going to treat it like an emergency. Yep, now we have this much, and now we're just going to have to figure it out because I am going on that trip. You need to go on that trip. You need to set it in motion. Here's what you can do to prepare for 2024 is decide where you're going to travel and then just say, I'm going to figure it out. If it's going to leave me with very little money, that needs to cover all my responsibilities and everyone who depends on me, we're going to have to figure it out. I'm going to have to tell them, just like I do when times get tough, I'm going to tell them, you guys, we're going to have to figure things out now for a little bit because, it is what it is. But I'm going on that trip. Yeah, this needs to be a priority, okay? Again, take it, leave it, up to you. You get to decide what you do with these messages. But I would say, if you feel like you're here for a reason, then this is part of the reason, is you need to go on that trip. And exactly. You have no problems knowing exactly what you want, Libra. You have no problem with that. You know exactly what you want and you know exactly where you want to go already. You already know. It's not even, it may be a few top choices, but it's not where would that even be? That's not it. That's not you. Okay, let's see the next one, crow. Oh, what am I doing? So before I get into, wait, is it crow? No, it was fish. Fish first, crow second. Fish for me, being able to, once again, navigate a sphere that others don't really know. For example, if you're a fish, you know how to swim. But if you are a sheep and you find yourself underwater, then you're in trouble because, you're not a fish. So, but how does a fish do in other environments? It goes both ways. So there are environments for you, Libra, where it's not your best environment. And you need to be mindful of this. There are some environments that weaken you. There are some environments that make you, it's just not for you, And I think this is something you're going to need to consider in 2024, because if you are putting yourself in environments where you're like a fish out of the water, okay, it feels like it's not good for you. It feels draining. It feels depleting. It feels like people you're around are not good for your psyche. They're not good for your well-being, right? They're draining, they're toxic, they're gossip, whatever it is that they are, or, you're in a climate that's depleting you and you're just struggling, literally it's not for you. You hate the cold, you hate the heat, whatever it is. And you just know it's beyond just winter. I like winter less than spring. It's I am sick. My body's not doing well here. Okay. You know this stuff. You need to get yourself out. No, there is, well, I guess there's a saying similar, that's somewhat similar in English. I just don't have the right words for it right now. I'm gonna try. What's coming up is that saying in Russian, which is, um, I'm gonna say it in Russian, "Спасение утопающих, дело рук самих утопающих," which means literally the saving of the person who drowns is the business, is something they need to do with their own hands. It's like, it's in their hands. It's a little bit of a pun. But it's like, if you are, you're in trouble, you're drowning, you better start swimming. And if you don't know how to swim, well, you gotta at least try, right? So if you know you're not in the right environment, and it feels like it isn't right for you, and the signs are all there, it's not a whim, okay? It's not just preference. It's like, I am not doing well here. I am doing not well here, right? Around these people, in this climate, whatever it is. Well, you are the only one who can get yourself out. And you can't put it off, make a plan, do something about it. Make it known to the world that you want to get out. Say it, admit it to yourself. I got to get out of here. Okay? That's coming through very strongly for some reason. For some of you guys, it's the people, and that's hard for you. And, sorry. That is something, I know it's a little bit of a secret, but it's a little bit of a secret that Libras don't like others to know about them. But don't worry, I'm psychic. I won't tell anyone, even though I'm telling the whole internet. I'm sorry, but this is coming up. This is the thing that you don't like other people to know about you, which is you don't want to be the one to abandon friends. You don't ever want to be the person who other people say about, she's a fair weather friend. That's like, you don't ever want to be considered that. Because your friendships are important to you. Your relationships are very important to you. So this is the getting out of the environment is one thing, but getting out of a friend circle, that is why it's so hard for you. You don't wanna be the one who stops hanging out with them. You don't want to be that person who, like, you don't want them to say, like, does she think she's so much better than us? That is a fear. You're worth more than that, though. Yeah. So they may say that. Let's face the fear here. They may say that, okay? But what are you going to sacrifice yourself and hang out with them even though it's not healthy for you? What is that fair? Do you think that's a good choice? I would say no. I'd say as much as you may be afraid of being talked about, like, oh, stop coming to our gatherings. She probably thinks she's so much better than us. Okay, yeah. All right, that's scary for you, okay? For me, not so much. But it's scary for you. I get it. That's one of those values for you that is, like, unshakable, okay? Is being a good friend, which is very important. There's very few people in this world who value being a good friend, not just having a good friend. So, but, you got to realize, like, at this point, it's not, like I said, it's not a preference. It's not a whim. It's not just like, I like spring more than I like winter. It's like, I am sick from this crowd. I am, like, this is bringing me down. It's poisoning my mind. Like, it's not healthy for me to be around these people. Okay. So if that's the case, and if it's people for you, it's up to you, but you got to choose yourself. You gotta swim your way out. If you feel like you're drowning, you better start swimming. But what if you just stick around drowning? Yes, you might. Your ego may be intact because you weren't that friend that stopped going. But, like, who's gonna benefit from it? Them? If it feels so toxic around them, do you think they really actually care, right? Or is it more like a habit, right? So, who cares what they say? I know you do. But you got to choose you. I mean, again, ultimately the choice is yours, but I'd say bet on yourself. You're going to find another circle, or you're going to find another friend, or whatever it is. And it's going to be different. But, people who deserve that good friendship from you. If they really are your friend as well, it's not just you being their friend, but they are also your friend and they care. Ultimately, if they love you, they will understand that what's best for you is what's best for you. And if what's best for you is not being around anymore, then it is what it is. It's hard, but it's part of life. So if they really care about you, then yeah, they may talk for a little bit, but they'll be okay. And if they don't care about you, for you, then what are you doing drowning over there? Like, who are they? You know, why, if you feel like, yeah, they may care about me, but maybe not. Why then are you so concerned about being a good friend to them, right? You got to kind of reevaluate a little bit here. Because I feel like you're very concerned with being like good, okay? But like, do you think that's balanced? Like, is it maybe one-sided from your part? Have you thought about that? So I would say like evaluate that. Fish, let's read from the guidebook here. Restlessness, change of focus, lost in the current. The fish loves to be subsumed in life's current. Nothing pleases it more than movement, and more movement. The roaming lifestyle of the fish may be exhilarating for a while, but usually leads to weariness and slippery relationships. With all the possibilities out there in the vast waters, the fish becomes lost without clear goals and intentions. Spend some time with the lunar forces, dear fish, at the peace and calm of the moon will soothe your soul. Adaptable, travels well. That's when in balance. When out of balance, distracted, changes mind often. To bring into balance, set a small goal and accomplish it. I'm not really getting that message at all. That is what's in the guidebook. I think what I just shared previously is what is actually the message for you. So the last one here is the crow. Okay, let's look at the crow. Before we look at the crow, let me tell you what I think the crow is. I love crows, you guys. I was obsessed with them. Like, I'm not even joking. It's not a exaggeration. Like, I was really obsessed with them. I would count crows on every single walk while growing up, and think like 5, 6, 7, like very little. I had this obsession with catching a crow, which I never did because I didn't have any means to do so. I just had imagination about it, and I wanted to catch a crow so it would be my pet. I love crows so very much. They are so wise. They are so smart. They are so freaking smart. And you guys, they mourn each other. This next level bird, when one of their own passes, they gather and they have like a mourning. Yeah, they're very emotional creatures. They're incredibly intelligent, very sneaky, but like not in a bad way, but in a way that like helps them really actually survive in life, and deeply caring, They're a mystical bird. Ravens, not crows, but ravens are known to be the messengers between the worlds, meaning, different dimensions, perhaps even the world of the living, the world of the dead. That's the ancient mysticism around it. But the crows, I think, are a little bit of that and a lot more grounded. So they are mystical creatures, but they're like, yeah, but girl, I'm a survivor though. Like, I'm mystical and stuff, but like, I'm gonna have a good life because I'm creating that for myself. Like, they're not just mystical, mystical. They're like, I'm here to live, and yeah, and that's pretty much my priority. Like, they're down to earth mystical is the way I would personally describe them. I think you need to be a little more selfish in 2024. That's what's coming through, Libra. With these previous 2 messages, you got to get a little more selfish. I don't know where or how you have become where it's like now all of a sudden it's all about everyone else in your life. When did that start? How did that spiral? Okay, because it's not supposed to be like that. Okay, other people in your life benefit from you making yourself your own priority. You know that. but not just like as an act. You need to come back to like, I am my own priority. I'm not just making myself a priority so I could be a better mother, better friend, better sister, better whatever, better employee, so on and so forth. I'm not just, taking the self-care bath because I'm going to be less pissy tomorrow when it comes to my meeting, right? No, it's like, I am my own priority. Hello? Like, where did I forget that? I am my own priority because that's how it's always been. Like, that's my job. That's my job. My job is to be my own priority. Everyone else's job is to be their own priority. And they seem to be doing that pretty well. So what about me? Okay, so let's read. Spiritually strong, creative, watchful. The crow has long been a symbol of magic. A crow personality is drawn to the supernatural and has a gift for seeing the unseen, knowing the unknown. It is said that the crow holds within its mind's eye the three realities: past, present, and future. That's our reading here. That's the way I conduct the readings. Is present is the entryway, but we're also looking at the past. We're looking at the developments in the future, but really it's all happening in the now as we're looking at it. Okay, so really, really appropriate. Okay, crow energy is potent and should only be tapped into when the mind is clear. How will you have a clear mind when you are making everyone else's agendas your priority? Okay, that's because that's what happens. You are so insightful that you can easily, if I were to tell you, what is your husband's priority if you have a husband? What is your child's priority right now? What is your best friend's priority? What is your mom's priority? Like, I would ask you, what is your colleague Liz, what is Liz's priority? And you'd be like, I know exactly what her priority is. You just know, you know what people want from you, need from you, what they want in general. You're keeping tabs on everyone. And somehow, some way, their priorities have become your priorities. And then you're like, why does it feel like I'm always running around, like doing other people's bidding? Because you are, okay? And you need to be more selfish. And that's a theme for you in 2024. You can choose that. You know what? If that, you don't have to announce it. But if it feels good and a little edgy and ballsy to choose that word for your year, you know how people choose like a word of the year? Just choose selfish. See what happens. I dare you. If that resonates, I dare you to do that. You're going to be so happy. You're going to be so happy. And so is everyone else in their life. But yeah, they're going to have to, there has to be a little learning curve where people kind of, once you step into this, I'm my own priority, people will need to be reminded a little bit like, yes, sweetie, I'm my own priority and you are your own priority. And yes, sometimes I take care of you. Sometimes, I'm very considerate of your priorities, but you still have to have yourself as your priority. And that's really your job, not mine. Okay. Like you have to, and it's a good lesson. You're not telling people like, well, I'm going to be selfish and you need to adjust. You're saying, I'm my own priority. You're your own priority. You cannot keep expecting for me to make your priorities mine all the time because that's not my job. Okay. And that's not healthy. And that's not a good life lesson. So I'm going to stop teaching you that, Okay. Those with crow tendencies must balance their lives with a healthy diet, joyful friends, not downer friends, not toxic circles, okay? Joyful friends and regular self-study. All good. When in balance, psychic, strong, clear. When out of balance, ungrounded, hypersensitive. Are you ungrounded and hypersensitive? If you are, that means you're not your own priority, okay? To bring into balance, daily meditation practice, okay? You guys, that's pretty much it. I can't believe I've been going live for like an hour and a half. I will have to say there is a way to work with me, okay? I talk about it in all of these readings. In 2024, it involves spending an entire day in a retreat with me. It's quite an investment, okay? It's a commitment for an entire year. I'm with you every moon cycle, so that means there's 13 moon cycles in the year. We start on the lunar year, which is the Chinese New Year, whatever you want to call it. There's still some time before it. Okay, it's not January 1st. We start on the Lunar New Year with this year-long adventure that we're on. You receive readings from me every lunar cycle. It's an opportunity to tap in, get some coaching, have a conversation, talk about what's going on in your life, what's happening, get some advice, get some cards, get some insights. Okay, this is general. If it feels very personal and you're a strong Libra energy, I am very happy. This isn't even like 5% of how personal and how tailored to you my work gets when it's one-on-one. This is where like these gifts find their truest purpose. And my skills as a listener, as a coach, as a mentor, someone who is there to guide and to hold space for your growth and to have your best interests without getting too involved, okay? I have that right balance to be able to serve excellently in that role. I'm very I own it. I mean, why wouldn't I? Right? So that's my gift, okay? It is all about you. This is what you would hire me for. It's all about you. I am the person with whom it's all about you. It's not like paying a friend. It's like having someone whose job is to be all about you, which I'm happy to do, okay? So every moon cycle, we tap in, there are readings, there are discussions, there's coaching, whatever you need. If you want to focus on something, we focus on that. If you're like, I'm open to whatever comes through, then we explore what comes through. We spend an entire lunar calendar year together, 13 moon cycles, okay? But before that, we have an entire day together when it's a pretty intense. It's a retreat, okay? It's not in person, it is online, but I'm in my office where I'm filming this now, where I have all my cards, all my medicine tools, everything, okay? We have a session, we have 3 sessions during that day and support in between, like chat, so you can take a break, so I can take a break, but it's pretty intense. So what happens in this day, there are 3 phases. First phase is divination, which you get to participate in. So we come up with, there's many different forms of divination. Divination is communicating with the divine intelligence directly, okay? This is what I do when I pull cards, but it's not just me pulling cards. We will find some ways of divination that you feel excited about, that you may want to explore, and I guide you through practicing divination on your own with assistance, okay? We tap into the wisdom that is available for you, that's coming through for your year 2024, and it's quite exciting. It's very eye-opening, third eye-opening, if you will. But it's a way to engage your intuition directly. And also, of course, on my end, I'm pulling cards, I'm working with tarot, oracle cards, and other divination tools on my side, okay? And I'm telling you everything that's come through. We discuss the messages. We have this kind of blueprint coming through for year 2024, and we just take into considerations some warnings, some signs, some opportunities that become evident through this work. That's phase 1. Phase 2, we are headed into a shamanic medicine journey, which I am skilled at. I have been practicing ayahuasca shamanism for 5 years, over 5 years now. I've had 27 ceremonies so far. I will be starting to offer guided ayahuasca ceremonies in 2024, just saying. I've spoken with our shaman recently, and there's things being developed, which I'm very excited about. That's not what I'm talking about though. I have the training of a shaman that allows me, what is that? Like, what is that, right? It allows me to work things through my own body. So whatever it is that you are ready, willing, and eager to release, that you know that you want to let go of, there's no like surprises there, but it's like, I'm ready to let go of this. I'm no longer carrying this. I'm ready to, you know, remove this attachment or this, you know, past relationship or this lesson that I've, you know, I'm pretty sure I've learned it. I'm ready to let this go, this pattern, this habit, you know, whatever it is, we move these things through. And as a shaman, I work them through my physical body. I'm not going to get into the details of how that goes. It is very sacred. It is quite complex, but it's also easy to receive. A good shaman works in a way that the client doesn't, or the one who is receiving the medicine doesn't have to wonder about how this all works. What's important is clarity, relief, and freedom. So basically the purpose of that shamanic medicine journey for you during our day together is to set you free from everything that you do not want to bring into the next year. Clear the slate, set you free from the things that you're ready to let go of already, okay? Things tend to stick around. Things tend to get attachy sometimes. I know this. I know you know this, okay? This is what this medicine is for, is so that you can just remove all this without having for it to be a long process. And I'm really good at that, you guys. Again, I say this with ownership and pride, because why wouldn't I be proud of this? It's hard work. It is years of my devotion. I've learned this for a reason. I know how I serve as a shaman, and I know I'm really damn good at it. And so I don't want to be sitting around talking about it as much as I want you to experience that for yourself. And I know you will if this is the way that you decide to work with me. Okay, leave it there. So this is phase 2. Phase 3 of our day-long retreat together is I channel for you. This doesn't involve any more divination or cards. This is pure channeling, okay? I believe everyone can channel. I think this is something that can be developed, okay? But there's something that, again, is unique to my work, is, as a lot of you guys know, English is not my first language. I am really good with languages. This is beyond even language. This is my ability to translate the information that I'm channeling in a way that actually makes sense for you, that it's not just blah, blah, some high ideas out there. It is like actual, practical, helpful, healing, transformative information that you retain, remember, and are able to apply in your life, okay? Down to earth, not something out there that no one knows about, okay, no one cares about. I'm talking like applicable in physical life. So this is all about you receiving, but you will receive in the way that you will understand, and that is my guarantee, okay? So that's our day together. Basically, through all of this, we create a blueprint for your year 2024. And then we dive into this supported way of working together through an entire year, okay? We begin this work on the Lunar New Year. And every moon cycle, you have my support. We tap in. We are looking at, you know, how your year is progressing, how this course is progressing, and we're able to bring some things back into focus. We are able to clear some things up along the way as they come up. This is the greatest gift that you can give yourself if you know that you would love to work with me. It is an investment, okay? It's a commitment as well. It is an entire year. There is no way to modify or make it less, this offer. Like, you can't just say, oh, I just want 6 moons, not 13. Like, it's a package, okay? It's the only way to work with me in this capacity. Right now it is $19.99. It's $1,900, $1,999, okay? And this is the whole thing, okay? On January 1st, it is going up to $2,400. That's where it's gonna stay. And then in January, it's going to be available, pretty much leading up to the Lunar New Year. And then sometime in February, it's just going to close. So it is available. It is what it is. It's a great way to commit to yourself. It's a great way to decide that you're going to have a dedicated person whose job is to be all about you, who's also intuitive and has my capabilities for you to have within reach, for you to commit to for an entire year. Okay. So if you have questions, let me know. The link is somewhere on this video. And if you're not watching this on Facebook, it's somewhere below the video or above the video in the description. I love you guys so much. Libra, thank you for joining me. Thank you for enjoying this broadcast. And I hope this reading serves you. I love you guys, and I will be seeing you very soon. All right. Bye.